Hey, thanks for coming by to visit the site. My name is Michael Blanc. You're probably here because you're interested in apartment building investing and you're trying to figure out how to get started. And you're looking for apartment buildings because you want to build some passive income, maybe to quit your job or to retire early, or you just want to build some long-term wealth. Whatever the case may be, you're kind of struggling with where to get started. You may not have any of your money or credit. And so what I want to teach you is all aspects of buying apartment buildings with a special focus on raising money. And that takes the main objection away of getting started in apartment building investing, besides the knowledge and the tools and the experience, is the money. And we're going to address that head on. I mean, I look back when I started with apartment buildings in 2006. I was trying to get started and I was looking for resources. And there were very few books, there still are today, and the ones that are out there are very superficial. I just didn't feel like it gave me the confidence. I did attend a boot camp, which was pretty good, but it was 3 days, and I had to travel to Chicago for it. And it was expensive, cost $3,000, not accounting the hotels and the flight, things of that nature. And what was a little aggravating was that there was constant upsell to either other products or the $15,000 coaching program, which I didn't do. I figured I didn't need that. So it was good, but a little aggravating. And then I didn't have the reference afterwards. So when I got back, life got kind of busy, and I didn't have a chance until 4 months later to get going with it. And all I had was my notes from the course, the bulleted outline. And it wasn't really enough. I really wanted like the video of the whole thing or transcript of the whole thing or something that I could take back, and that wasn't available. So I said, one day when I'm in a position to do that, I'm going to try to change some of these things. And so I did eventually get started. I did a lot of marketing in Texas and sent a bunch of postcards out. I started building a team locally, and I probably analyzed 110 deals until I finally had one on the contract, and then decided to get out of it because we were getting very busy on the restaurant front, because I knew it would require my time. So I got a lot of experience analyzing and building a team there and being taken seriously, even though I was obviously out of town. And in 2011, I had a chance to do my first deal with 12 unit in Washington, D.C. And at the time, I had deployed most of my assets into a series of restaurants, and I didn't really have any money to invest. So my only alternative was to raise money, and we bought this building with 5 other investors, and we had a private placement memorandum, subscription agreements, securities, everything kind of by the book, and I learned a lot through that. A year and a half later, I did another syndication. This was for 2 restaurants our franchisee was selling, and that was structured quite a bit differently. Again, a big learning process. And at the time, I decided then to start actually writing and teaching about apartment building and investing. And so that's kind of what I did. I have a ton of free articles on thebiggerpockets.com, as well as my blog, themichaelblanc.com. I have a podcast and a YouTube channel, and there's tons of free information. And but what I wanted to do a year ago is actually put all that stuff into the best e-course on the planet on apartment building investing. I wanted it to be comprehensive, meaning dealing with all aspects, and I wanted a special focus on raising money specifically. And I wanted it to be multimedia. I wanted it to be in HD video. I want to download it Audible. I want an ebook, so that let's say I prefer videos, but then I also want to download the book and I will listen to it in the car, or I will listen to it over and over again. So I wanted multiple formats. So I also wanted the different tools, the documents, the checklists, the samples. I wanted all that, so I don't have to start over from scratch. And I wanted some real world case studies. I wanted to show some real world case studies. So that is what's in the product that you're going to see here. I want to give you a quick tour of it. Thanks for watching.
All right, if you were to get the course, this is what you would see. So let's go over the outline just so you know what you're getting yourself into. So this are all the sections. Each chapter there are a total of 12 chapters. And you'll see here the number of minutes and seconds of the video and the audio that go with each chapter. So we start first by how to raise money from private individuals. This is such an important topic that I spend almost 2 hours on this thing. And we talk about how to find your potential investors, what to say to them. The secret to raising money, as you know, is to create a sample deal package. How do we do that? How do we structure the investment? And we actually tour an operating agreement as well as a partnership agreement to see how to actually structure that we talk about security law considerations. We'll tour a private placement memorandum, a subscription agreement, so you know exactly how to handle your investors when they ask you these kinds of questions. Chapter 3 deals with investing out of area in this environment where it's harder to find deals. That is a real strong consideration. We talk about how to find the right market and how to recruit the people we want on our team. Chapter 4 is how to find the deals. And number 5 is how to build an A team, who you want in your team and how to do it, how to gain credibility with them, even if you don't have a track record or any experience. Number 6 is very important. We're going to use a syndicated deal analyzer. That's, of course, included in the course. How to analyze the deals, how to do it within 10 minutes or less, how to understanding investor returns, how to pay yourself, fine-tuning your P&L with a particular business plan, especially if you're doing a value-added deal. And in Chapter 7, you're going to learn about making and negotiating offers. How do we negotiate through a broker when we're not dealing with a seller directly? Some negotiating tips when we are dealing with a seller. We're going to talk about using informal forms of negotiating. How do we use the numbers and the syndicated deal analyzer to help us go into a letter of intent, which we talked about today. How to do purchase contracts either using your own or the one that comes with the course or using someone else's, and how to amend those and what terms to make sure we add to that. Once we're under contract, we want to perform due diligence, and it's a very detailed checklist. We're going to spend an hour going over due diligence because we want to be thorough with this and don't want to make mistakes. So this is a very, very important chapter. Chapter 9 is financing the deal. We will talk about some creative financing techniques. They're always nice to have. However, most of them are going to be through traditional financing, how to put together a lender package that will get accepted. And then we're going to talk about closing, especially how to deal with your investors, what the logistics are with the attorney, and how to get to a closing that is basically not eventful. Chapter 11 is important once you close the property is how to hire a property manager, how to manage that property manager, what reports you should have, how frequently your interaction should be and what it should be like. How do we build value? What are all the ways we can build value? And that's what we're all about. And what to look for when you have to replace your manager. In the last section, we're going to talk about exit strategies, even though this is an important consideration before you even buy it. What is your exit? You got to have the end in mind. And we're going to use the syndicated deal analyzer to model different scenarios. My favorite one is strategy number 3, the cash out, refinance, hold, and sell for maximum value creation. One of the important things to me was to have a multimedia approach to this course, meaning I wanted to provide you with high quality HD video, and I wanted to be able to download the audio and give you an ebook as well. So if we look at one of these sections, the 10-minute analysis, for example, let's look at this way this looks here. You have a video here. In this particular case, it's 8 minutes long. It's me actually showing you how to use the analyzer to do the 10-minute analysis. Then down here is the text of that corresponds to that section. Then you can mark this section as complete, and when you're done with that, march on to the next unit. Here to the right, you can actually download the audiobook, which then looks like this. This is a PDF, so you can take this with you and just read it on your tablet or your computer or whenever else. And finally, you can download the audio. You can download each chapter separately and listen to it on your device, in your car, in the gym, or whatever. The point is, you can consume this content however you prefer and over again as long as you need for when you need it. It was also important for me to be very action-oriented, real world, and that's why we use a case study throughout the course. So you're applying the concepts that we're learning on a 12-unit apartment building. So from the analysis side to the marketing package that we receive, to the HUD one, to creating an investor package, all these things are done, as well as due diligence, all parts of it are done based on this case study. In addition to the course, we also have the document library, which has samples, documents, contracts, etc., that are referenced throughout the course, and that kind of gets you going with something without having to reinvent the wheel. So, for example, our making offers, we have different kind of contracts templates here. We have the letter of intent. We have a sample purchase contract and an addendum. Just so many things that we have in the document library here. I also include a couple more case studies. And those case studies normally include the original marketing prospectus, so you see what those look like, as well as the analyzer and a video that goes through that. All right, I also include a few bonuses. Number one is I'll give you 60 days of priority email access. There's a $500 value, so you can email me anything you want for 60 days, and I will do my best to respond. Number two is the Syndicator Legal Library, and that's over here is the Syndicator Legal Library, which has the legal documents related to the entity creation as well as SEC compliance. So, for example, one of the documents is a template of an operating agreement, which outlines up here the terms of this. In this particular case, the investors are largely silent, and what the terms of that is and what sections correspond to that. And then there are sections down here that are highlighted that you can customize for your own deal. I have another one is a partnership agreement, which is set up in a similar template, but that one's a little more complicated. That one accommodates multiple classes of members that give members certain particular rights and is more complicated. Also allows for multiple LLCs to be held by the partnership. So the partnership agreement cost me about $2,000 to create. The operating agreement cost about $1,000. So there's $3,000 of value, and the idea is you still have to pay your attorney to review those, but you create those. And you modify them, and it's going to be substantially cheaper than having your attorney craft those things from scratch. And I was thinking of not including that with this course because a lot of instructors actually offer that separately for at least $1,000 because there's so much value there. But I felt I want to give you everything all together because you need all of it together. So that's why it's included in this course. And the third one is if you've purchased anything, if you purchased a syndicated deal analyzer, I will credit that purchase towards this course. So just contact me and I'll send you a code to apply towards a purchase. So I'll give you 3 reasons to purchase the course. Number one is you need to invest in your education, whether it's me or with someone else. And the reason you want to do that is to achieve your goals faster. Sure, you can learn on the job, and you can. There's nothing wrong with that. It'll just take longer. And you also want to avoid expensive mistakes, meaning you're going to make mistakes. No matter what you do, you're going to make mistakes, but you want to avoid the ones where you lose your shirt or worse, your house. We want to avoid those, and that's why you want to invest in your education. And you can consider some of the alternatives, and there are boot camps out there, and they require travel. They're multi-day boot camps, and they're good. You have to travel there, and normally you're being upsold to the higher-end coaching course, which is not what I want to do. I want to arm you with everything that you need. And if you don't buy the course, that's fine, but then do something. Buy a book, attend a seminar, do something, invest in your education, and most importantly, just get started. That's what I most care about is you get started on your investing career. I'll just show you a couple of testimonials by people. This is Alexander. He says, Michael's operating agreement template saved me a lot of money in legal fees and giving me the ability to at least put together an initial draft that would have probably cost me close to $2,000 in my area. If you're looking to syndicate a deal, Michael's a great resource. He was very responsive with any questions I may have had, which I also had appreciated. Paul says, I went ahead and purchased your deal analyzer, watched the videos, and assessed the analyzer itself. Forgive me when I say this, but effing A. This thing is awesome. I appreciate it, Paul. I can't imagine how many hours you put into developing the spreadsheet. 5 years, but thank you for doing it. This is definitely a work smarter, not harder kind of resource that I will be using exclusively from now on. I really want to take the risk out of this thing, so I'm giving you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. There's really no risk. If you're on the fence about this, I know it's a lot of money, it's a lot to think about, but if you decide you get into it and 7 days later you're like, man, this is not for me, you just email me and I'll refund you the money. I'm not going to hassle you about that. And the other thing is I'm going to give you free updates to this. What I mean by that is I consider this kind of a living course. So I'm going to add modules and I'll email you about it. I will also most likely, which I've done twice before, update the syndicated deal analyzer as I continue to use it and get feedback from all of you guys. So that's included. I'm not going to charge you extra for that. All right, let's summarize. Here's what you get. You have the 8.5 hours of video, online, instant access, high quality HD. You have the audio you can download. You have a 185-page ebook in PDF format. You have the syndicated deal analyzer software. You get the document library and 2 case studies. And by the way, I'll probably add more case studies over time. So it's 2 right now, but it'll probably be 2+. In addition to the course, you get these things: the 30-day money-back guarantee we talked about, the free upgrades to the course and the analyzer, the 60 days unlimited priority email support, $500 value. The syndicated legal library, a $2,000 value. Plus, if you've purchased the syndicated deal analyzer, I'll credit that towards the course as well. The course itself is probably equivalent to a 3-day boot camp, 8.5 hours of video, plus all the ebook and the exercises and the document library will keep you busy for at least 3 days, but you don't have to travel, and not counting lunches and the upsell course and things like that. Easily worth a boot camp. Total value $4,500. But I'm not going to charge you that. I'm not even going to charge you the price of a boot camp. I want to make it affordable to you that you can afford to invest in education at just under $1,000, $995. And you can find out more at ultimateapartmentinvestingguide.com. Go there right now. And remember, there's always that 30-day money-back guarantee, so there's really no risk if you decide it's not for you. Send me an email, and I will refund you that money. But I would be thrilled to welcome you on board and start working with you, and I look forward to that.